Hello YouTube viewers, hashtag my global family. This is Dre Abeita, the YouTube academic, here with your hashtag Abeita reality dose. This video is meant to cover Thursday, September 17th, 2020. But I'll be honest, you guys, yesterday was too emotion filled and I was honestly filled with fucking rage that I had to take a whole day off to breathe and recenter myself and to really just remember why I'm fighting all these fights. So, to give everyone a recap, right, to see what's going on with me. I'm the chair-elect of the American Educational Research Association Graduate Student Council, which is the largest international organization in the world for education. I represent over 8,000 graduate students around the world, and we are 23,000 strong. This is a very important position, and I am the very first LGBTQ, bisexual, Native American chair-elect of the Graduate Student Council. This is an incredible honor, and everything that I do as Dre Abeita, coyote walking, Pueblo superhero in this world is to help my people and to provide an example to everyone who's black and brown or marginalized or gay or transgender. And constantly, it breaks my heart, you guys, because I keep seeing inequality hemorrhaging from our schools and from the places that are supposed to be protecting our people. I'm only seeing the people that I love and care about being hurt over and over in literally the institution of learning that is supposed to be guiding them to a future that's supposed to be helping their people. The reason that I started my PhD in 2012 was to become a literal Native scholar so that I could learn more about Native identity, maybe a little bit about critical race, which I hadn't known existed at the time. I found that 2 years later. But in all honesty, I don't know if I could do it again. I probably would, you guys. What am I gonna say? I'm a glutton for punishment. But to be completely honest, pursuing my PhD has been a completely dehumanizing experience for me. I was suicidal 2 years ago, and I've told you guys, I talk about having trauma in academia because I was in a predatory academic relationship with a white male tenured professor. Now, speaking out only got me part way. It took a trio of badass women of color to actually voice and use their own powerful positions of tenure to push him out. But unfortunately, in 2012, as well as since the beginning of time, as far as I can tell, women have been reporting abuse and being silenced. So as a student, my voice didn't really mean very much, but it took the backing of well-respected professors in order to help make humanizing change for me. And that change was just pushing out a huge predator who had been hurting groups and groups of women over the last 2 decades. Unfortunately, there's no win in these battles. And the best that I got after 3 years of trauma and pain and fighting institution and filing reports to the Office of Equal Opportunity and forcing them to take my complaints, after 4 months of having no avenues, they finally forced OEO to take my complaint, which was not the appropriate venue for my complaint. Unfortunately, that doesn't matter to them. They're there to protect the institution. So that was my last 3 years of experience here at the University of New Mexico. And I recovered, and I used all of my roles with the College of Education Graduate Student Leadership Association, the Language Literacy and Social Cultural Studies Leadership Association, and the University of New Mexico Graduate and Professional Student Organization for GPSA Council, and all my definitely many roles that I've had here at UNM while I've been a community leader. I've always used those platforms to advocate for change and to help protect what's happening to our students on the daily. Earlier this year, they announced the closing of graduate student housing. It is already a ghetto. We have problems with asbestos, and the reason that they stated they were closing was the $52 million that it would take to renovate. That's not a humanizing solution, to have our students continue living in such a ghetto with asbestos and theft and risk of their own safety. It's not humanizing behavior, but unfortunately for many of our students, it's the only affordable option that they have open to them. And now our university is taking that away from them. Earlier this week, the reason I'm so upset, as you guys have been seeing on my social media posts, is that I was so proud, and I am proud of who I am. And the fact that I even thought for a second, that shows how much this has affected me. I am proud to be a darn Native American coyote walking superhero, the granddaughter of Miguelita Histia and the great-great-granddaughter of Pablo Abeita. I'm a revolutionary memory of Fred Hampton who was assassinated by the US government. And I stand for our people, whether they be graduate students or Native Americans or LGBTQ or students who are just trying to figure out this world and thought that the colleges and universities that we had across this country had the answers to life for them. I'm here to tell you that they don't have the answers, that these structures and institutions are actually there to oppress us, and I'm tired of it. I'm standing forth. So what happened on Tuesday, sorry guys, I'm a storyteller too, so you can tell, it keeps going round and round. On Tuesday, actually on Monday, I sent a message asking her, well, two things. One, I applied for a bunch of jobs on Monday. So UNM had a bunch of postings, so I sent all my resumes to everyone, including LSS, my department. And I had asked for consideration for position because there's an open position. But I had applied before in the UNM website, and if you apply a year ago or 2 years ago, doesn't matter, you can never reapply. Well, darn it, since then I've been doing some new things. I wanted to upload my new resume. So I tried to do that and it wouldn't. So my only option was to send all of my documents via email to the current chair. So I went ahead and did that. So I applied to like 5 positions at UNM on Monday, done. I also had sent out all these wonderful notices about joining me at the American Educational Research Association Graduate Student Council to lead our communities, to the path for change. To be the chair-elect this year means that I will be the chair for the 2022 AERA conference, which, ancestors willing, will be the first one that we have actually in person since COVID hit us. That gives me an immense amount of responsibility and honor to be able to literally set the agenda for graduate students that year. I handpicked 12 sessions and literally highlight the topics that we're going to be discussing. I'll never have this type of influence in my life, and darn it, I will use it to influence how we teach and how we learn and how we're harming our communities. So, this is an important position. I need people. I need people to join this. I want this information to go out to my listservs. So, made a beautiful announcement of who I am. I'm a coyote. Come join me. We'll take on the world. We can do this, guys. And what does my chair do? First of all, it doesn't go out because this person edits everything that goes out to the students. So this is called gatekeeping, right? So you keep the information huddled and you don't use it. Therefore, a lot of people don't have access to it. It limits the ability for you to rise to the ranks, right? Typical social control. Anyways, so what she did with my email, she deleted everything that had to do with my Native identity, only put the positions and my email, and that was it. Stark breaking mad, you guys. I'm super upset about this. And I emailed and I said, how dare you erase my Native identity? This is a microaggression to me. I didn't use the word microaggression. Excuse me. I know, but that's what happened. But at the moment, I'm so upset. I'm shaking literally in my bathroom, I'm just like so enraged filled that one, my department chair feels like that's appropriate to censor me. And two, how do you just erase who I am? How do you erase my identity? I worked so hard to get here. You can't erase me. I am not here to be erased. Anyways, so very upset. Send the email back to her saying, I can't believe you did this to me. I'm very upset and angry. No response. Emailed the deans. 3 deans, actually 4 deans I emailed. None of them got back to me. Yesterday morning on Thursday, I'm very upset. 40 hours, 50 some hours have passed. No one has gotten back to me. It's COVID, I understand that. But I am very upset. And I also am not going to be silenced on this issue. Because there is COVID does not mean that racial issues and microaggression death by a million cuts is not going to hurt our community, because it does. So, I emailed the dean. And I'm actually going to start a whole new video, you guys, because once they get the videos too long, it's crazy. But tune in a second to figure out what happened with the dean. It was horrible. I'll just tell you that.